Alright, team, let's do the first question, first part of the first question on quiz 2b. List the following properties of calcium. They're looking for calcium, not the calcium plus 2 ion. So what I like to do is look at my periodic table and pull up calcium. And if you look at it, you have the atomic number, which is the small number, right? This one here. And then the atomic mass, which is 40.08, which is the average of all the different isotopes of all the different forms of calcium. And just so you remember, an isotope is the same number of protons, but different number of neutrons. So it's just different versions of the same atom, and they have different varying properties. Sometimes they're more stable or less stable. But 40.08 is an average of all the different ones. It's a weighted average depending on what's most popular. It looks like around 40.08 is the most popular, so probably the closest isotope would be calcium-40. So normally I should have probably specified which isotope. You can always ask. But we're going to do most of this for calcium-40 until you see when we get to the molar mass. Okay? And that's the one that has the mass number of 40. So the atomic number is the identity of the atom, and that is the number of protons, because all atoms, no matter what happens, the proton stays the same for that particular atom. 20 protons, it's calcium. So the atomic number is 20, so the number of protons is 20. Okay. In number of electrons is that it doesn't say that it's the ion. So the number of protons, the positive has to equal the negative electrons, so it's balanced out. If it was the calcium 2+, you would see you'd have 18 electrons, because 18 and positive 20 is left over positive 2. So that's how you would figure out the ions. Okay, so here it is. Now the next one is a number of neutrons. We're going to go with the calcium-40 with the mass number 40. The mass number is a combination of protons plus neutrons. And we have the number of protons, so if we just subtract the protons plus neutrons minus the protons, we're going to get protons. So we just get the big number minus the small number. Okay, so 40 minus 20 is 20. And if when in doubt, just round this to the nearest. That's going to give you the most common isotope. Now the number of valence electrons. If you pull up a periodic table and you go, all right, valence electrons, where are you? All right, here's calcium. Everyone in group 1 has 1 valence electron. Group 2 has 2. These folks are weird. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, the normal gases. Oh, who is that? Old student. Any rate, so this valence electrons is 2. If it was the calcium plus 2 ion, it'll be giving away those 2 valence electrons. So you often see calcium, you can draw it as Lewis, has 2 valence electrons. If we were the calcium 2+, we would be giving off our valence electrons, have no valence electrons, or 8, because it has underneath this, it has a full shell of electrons in the outer orbital. Well, don't worry about that, unless you want to worry about it. Okay, at any rate, number of valence electrons is 2, just because of the column. Now the molar mass. Molar mass is going to be the average of all of the isotopes of calcium, and it was already in the periodic table, 40.08. Handy trick, saying that they changed. They made AMUs, or they use another unit now. The grams equal to the atomic mass, so it's pretty awesome. So if I gave you this many grams, a mole of calcium atoms are in there. Remember, in a mole is this crazy number, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of calcium. So if I give you that many, that's how many are in there. But that's obnoxious to write, so we just write it as a mole because it's a chemistry dozen. And you'll see it as capital M or MM. That's the abbreviation for it. Okay, that's it. Now for the next part, look at the next video.